All right, everyone, welcome back to the channel. Diego Pacheco has just defeated Kevin Saggio in a unanimous decision victory. The cards read 117, 110, 116, 111, 115, 112. Yeah, not a great night in the office for Diego Pacheco, which is odd when you read the scorecards and you see that he clearly won the fight. But let's start with the positives. I don't want to rip into him too much. I thought he started the fight very well. I thought the first 3 rounds he looked very in command, looked like somebody that I thought was going to go on it and win it very convincingly. And I thought, oh, Diego Pacheco's learned here from his previous fights and he's implemented it, but it only sort of lasted for the first 3 rounds. The other positive you can look at is he got up off the canvas and looked to improve after being dropped. Didn't let that overraw him. I guess the other way that you can look at it is he didn't fight his style tonight. He fought Kevin Saggio's fight, which he really shouldn't have done, but he did fight the way Kevin Saggio wanted that fight to be fought. And the fact is, Diego Pacheco came out on top. He did win the fight. That's probably all the positives coming out of this fight. And like I said, I don't want to rip into him too harshly, but when we talk about Diego Pacheco, my biggest thing on him is you're in a tough division. And when you compare a fighter, you compare him to his colleagues, you compare him against the people that he has to go up against, you compare him to the champions of that division, all right? He's not somebody that's sitting in middleweight or welterweight where you think he's not looking great, but he could still make a run for a title. The people that have got the belts aren't great. We're talking about Diego Pacheco. He's got to come up against Christian Mbili. He's got to come up against Lester Martinez. He's got to come up against Hamza Sheeraz. All right, these are guys that are absolute killers. And the fact is, none of those guys even have a belt. We're not even talking yet about Canelo or Terence Crawford. So for Diego Pacheco, when you look at his performance tonight, he had every advantage in that fight. He is the quicker fighter. He is the younger fighter. He is the taller fighter. He has the range. He has every single thing you'd say was going in his favor. All right. He had the benefit in every department tonight to go in there, fight at range, box Saggio, and win the fight comfortably. And instead, for whatever reason, he fell into a trap of going into a dogfight, fighting in the phone booth against Kevin Saggio, who wanted that fight. He wanted it to be a mess. He wanted it to be wrestling. He wanted it to just be carnage from start to finish. And for Diego Pacheco, yeah, you got away with it tonight. Yeah, you got up off the canvas from a knockdown tonight. But we just saw what Hamza Sheeraz did to Edgar Berlanga. Are you getting up from that? I don't think so. And that's Hamza Sheeraz, who is probably closer to your level than what Kevin Saggio was coming into this. You'd probably tip Hamza Sheeraz going into a Diego Pacheco fight because he's got all the assets you do as well. He's got that height, he's got that reach, he's got that power, he's got that speed. He's still very youthful, whereas Kevin Saggio, we looked at him today and said he's 35 years of age. This is the part where Diego Pacheco needs to show how good he is. And like we said when he fought Steven Nelson, like we said when he fought Trevor McCumbee, and again tonight, you walk away a bit disappointed and you walk away with more questions than you do answers. It's still, what is Diego Pacheco? What level can he reach? Today I saw a fighter that didn't show any experience, any learning from his previous fights. I saw a guy that came in and fought a fight that he wasn't supposed to, a fight that doesn't benefit him, a fight that doesn't show any growth or development. This was a Diego Pacheco who is 24 years of age, 25 fights now, didn't implement use of any of his skill, all right? There was no movement, neither from feet or head, all right? The guy was walking straight towards you. I wasn't even seeing him use the jab effectively of just sticking it out there, crisp punches constantly to stop Saggio walking forward in a straight line, because that's all he did tonight. Kevin Saggio walked him down all night long. And you're thinking, just sharpen that jab, sharpen it up, keep moving, don't wrestle with this guy. And for whatever reason, Diego Pacheco was content with making it a dogfight. He didn't look pleased with himself at the end, I will admit. There does need to be some growth. He did say that he had some family issues coming into the fight. Yeah, they all play a part, but I don't think they're the reason that we saw the performance we did today. We saw a performance tonight that is a reflection of his training, a reflection of his development, a reflection of the past few fights that we've seen him in. And like I said, you compare him to his colleagues, you compare him against the people he's got to take on. And I didn't see anything tonight, didn't see anything last time we saw him that says if he goes into a fight against Christian Mbili, Lester Martinez, Hamza Sheeraz, Canelo, or Crawford, that I feel like he'll even be competitive. And that's tough on him because there's such high reps on him. Like, he's been fighting for now 7 years on DAZN. He's should be further along, in my opinion, in what we're seeing in performance. Doesn't necessarily have to be the opponent. I just expect you come in against Sergio, you get rid of him. You beat him confidently, and you keep moving forward. And at the end of the fight, he calls out Jaime Munguia. Not the name that I thought he would call out. I thought he might have gone with one of probably the top dogs at the moment. I wouldn't put Jaime Munguia after the Canelo loss and the Sriracha loss and the B sample and everything else that's sort of gone on of recent. That Jaime Munguia is really at the top of his power. I still think it's a very good fight. I think it's a good name for him to have on his resume. I just expected a bigger call out, and then we end up with Jaime Munguia, if that makes sense. I expected him to say, no, I want Mbili next, I want Sheeraz next. And then, we hear the saying that those fights aren't available. All right, we'll settle for Jaime Munguia. Set your heights up really, really high and then take the middle option sort of thing. Whereas it seems like he's taken the middle option, and there's no guarantee he gets the middle option because Jaime Munguia, it's a dangerous fight for Jaime Munguia. I feel like if Jaime Munguia takes this fight and loses, then Jaime Munguia is gone for all intention and purposes. But at the same time, you beat undefeated Diego Pacheco, and you're right back at the top where you were when you beat John Ryder. So real quick, the Ring Magazine have actually just posted that they're very interested in making Hamza Sheeraz versus Diego Pacheco for early part of next year. So we'll watch that space. I'll just add this into the video. I'd much prefer to see that fight rather than see him take on Jaime Munguia. But I think Hamza Sheeraz would beat the shit out of the Diego Pacheco we saw tonight. After what I saw Hamza Sheeraz do to Edgar Berlanga, I don't even think it'll be close. So it's a big risk for Diego Pacheco if he accepts that fight, but I think it'll be a hell of a fight. Let's talk about the rest of the card. Joe Cordina, he beat Gabriel Flores by unanimous decision, 117, 110, 115, 112, 114, 113, becoming the WBO International Lightweight Champion. Cordina was deducted a point in the 6th round for hitting his opponent in the back of the head, but I thought he fought exceptionally well. Gabriel Flores is a very, very difficult opponent, and I thought Joe Cordina fought excellent. Yeah, I couldn't have asked for much more from Joe Cordina. Yeah, he could have probably cleaned up the start a little bit better, but I thought he came home very, very well at the end and secures a great victory. And now you're really looking at Joe Cordina and saying he's not far away from a title shot. I wouldn't put him far away from being the next opponent for Abdullah Mason. So very good win for Joe Cordina. Ernesto Mercado moves to 18 wins, 17 knockouts with a round 6 KO victory over Antonio Moran, becoming the WBO International Super Lightweight Champion. And Skynokson defeated Julian Luna via unanimous decision, 98, 92, 98, 92, 97, 93, becoming the WBC Interim Super Bantamweight Champion. I thought she fought very, very, very well tonight. It was sort of the fight that I expected to see her put in against Tiara Brown and didn't. I feel like you could see the growth and development from that defeat, not only in her 2 victories against Gonzalez and Singh, but tonight she could have fallen into the same trap of being in a dogfight, being in a brawl, and instead she kept it at range and showed her boxing acumen and won competently. So very good win. Diego Pacheco, a bit disappointing. I'm going to go watch the Badu Jack versus Noel Mikhailian fight, which is, I think, just about to start. I've actually got it up here. Where are they? No, they have started. They're in round 1. So I'll go catch that now. Like the video, subscribe, and I'm out of here, guys. See ya.